Hey guys, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Hannah. I'm a professional hairstylist, and on this YouTube channel, we talk about everything beauty. So if you guys like this video, check out some more, like, comment, subscribe, you know the drill. Join the family and stick around for more. This hair needs some work. I've been super busy. It's the Christmas season, and as a hairstylist, the Christmas season is super crazy and chaotic, and I just need like some self-care. You know, I'm taking care of everybody else's hair, so it's time for me to take care of mine. So a couple months ago, I decided to go for more of like a rooted kind of look. Obviously, it's faded, and my blonde is just kind of like dull, and yeah, I don't really know what I want to do with it. So in the meantime, I just feel like I'm super dark, like up around my face. So I'm going to show you guys how I touch up my money piece. If you are not familiar with that term, your money piece is basically like the front two pieces up around your face. It's just a slight change, but just that lightness up around your face makes such a big difference, and it makes it feel like you just got it done. So it has been quite a while since I have done my own color, probably since high school. Obviously, I am a licensed professional. I don't recommend trying this at home if you are not a professional or have some type of like experience with hair. If you do try this at home, please watch this video very carefully and be extremely safe. I'm going to be showing you guys the details as much as I can. Alright, so let's hop right into this video. If you guys have any questions throughout this video, feel free to drop a comment below. Let's head into this video. Okay, so kind of to give you a rundown of what I am thinking. So like I said, I'm just going to be touching up like the pieces up around my face. That's the easiest to do on yourself as far as highlights. Last time I went for like a little bit more of a warmer blonde. I've done the whole ashy blonde, and it's just a lot of work to keep up with. So I've gone a little bit more towards a warmer blonde recently. For lightener, I am just using what I have. I've literally had this since probably whenever I started beauty college. So I'm just using the Wella lightener. It's nothing special, but it works really good. It's what I have, so we're gonna use that. I'm using 20 Developer with that. I'm also going to be using Olaplaex in there. I'm using the Olaplaex because I do have previously lightened hair, and I like to lift it pretty light, so to keep my hair healthy and safe, I like to use the Olaplaex in there. I obviously have my foils and full brush, you know the basics. I'll be showing you guys the toner that I'm using later. So I'm gonna go ahead and mix up my lightener really quick. I'm just using literally like half a scoop. My hair lifts extremely yellow. It's really like, it's a bad color, you'll see later. I usually let my lightener sit on a little bit longer just to break through that warm stage. I like to mix my lightener into consistency. I really don't measure it. So a good consistency to me is a little bit more on the thicker side. I like it to be thick just because I feel like I can control thicker lightener a little bit better. I feel like I can saturate a little bit better with a thicker lightener. I don't know if you can see this, but like I like it to be pretty thick. For sectioning, I'm not really gonna do anything super crazy, but I want to do kind of like my whole hairline because I do pull my hair up a lot, especially with masks at work. It's just easier and more comfortable. So I still want to see that brightness whenever I pull my hair back. And I also have been flipping my hair like back and forth lately. For a while I was just parting in the middle, but I have been recently kind of changing it up. So I'm gonna kind of part it and do it to where no matter where I flip it, I'm still nice and bright and it looks good. And I don't want to do anything super thick. So I have my little sections here. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to part this in the center, kind of like just as wide as my foil. So I will show you my hairline. Everybody's hairline is different, so this is not a universal thing. But as you can see, my hairline is pretty straight across. Some people have like widow's peak, so then I would go in as diagonals, but since mine is pretty straight across, it's just easier for me to do it this way. And I always start with a baby like weave. I like to do it this way, so whenever I pull my hair back, it's not super solid. I still have some of my natural color in there. So I fold my foil over my comb just so I can lock this in. And I'm sorry, this is gonna be really awkward, but I'm gonna kind of peek out the side of my foil so I can see what I'm doing. So I'm gonna go in and just tap through here and then just feather it. Up into the root, and I'm gonna feather it down into some of those lighter pieces, but being very careful not to overlap. And then what I like to do is I like to do a double fold and then lift up and lock it in. Wow, it's been so long since I've done this for myself. And then I fold these in so these are nice and locked in. My second section will be a slice. But a teeny tiny little slice. So you can see how thin that is. So I like to use the doll side. I heard once that it just folds better. I'm not sure if that is true than the shinier side, but it's just a habit, I guess. Same thing for this. And notice that I'm kicking out those ends so that they are not getting overlapped with lightener. Your front pieces around your hairline are the most fragile, so you definitely want to be careful that you are not frying them. And then last one I'm doing here is another slice, but I'm going to tease this so it's more of a rooted highlight. I'm starting a little lower than the sun and then flipping it up. And you really want to make sure it is saturated so you are not getting any patchiness. Alright, so that is those. And then on the sides, I'm just gonna pop a couple. Alright guys, this is gonna be my look for the next probably 30 to 40 minutes. I will be back to check in and show you how we're lifting. BRB. Alright guys, so I just hit my 40-minute process. So I just checked, and just to give you guys an idea of what we're looking like. Like I said, I pull super warm. Okay, so for the last like minute or so, I'm gonna drag this lightener down through some of my ends just to pull off the old toner. Usually I would do this with gloves on, but I forgot to get gloves. If you do this with your bare hands, just have a wet rag on hand because water will deactivate your lightener and it won't burn you, well, as bad. Alright, so I'm just taking this, I'm gonna rub it in, and I'm just pulling it down through my ends. And the air that is hitting it right now is gonna slow it down, so I'm not really worried if this last minute or so of it damaging my ends at all. Alright, so I'm just gonna let this sit while I start my shower up. So I'm going to shampoo this really quick. The reason I like to shampoo it first is because I pull so warm, so I like to shampoo it with a purple shampoo before I do any type of toner. And the reason I do that is because it acts as kind of like a pre-toner to kind of kick some of that warmth and help the toner out. So I'm gonna shampoo this really quick, and I am going to put on Olaplaex 2, which is the second step of the Olaplaex treatment that just rebuilds the bonds in your hair and balances the pH in your hair. I like to do that before my toner as well, just to balance out the porosity in my hair so that the toner takes all equally. So I am going to wash this really quick and get that Olaplaex on. And I'm just gonna let that sit, and I'll come back before I tone it so you guys can see what toner I'm using. I'll be right back. Alright you guys, so I just got out of the shower. I did my pre-tone with my purple shampoo. I use Shimmer Lights, which I really only use because I bought it like 2 years ago and I still like haven't finished it. It's very drying, but it does do the job. Shimmer Lights is definitely like more of a cheap purple shampoo. It does work, but it is very drying, so you will need to do like treatments and stuff like that to kind of combat the dryness that it gives you. You do need to be careful with it though, because I have had staining from it, so I probably won't get Shimmer Lights again once I finish this bottle, but just wanted to throw that out there. So yeah, I did my pre-tone shampoo and my Olaplaex number 2. I let that sit on for about 2 to 3 minutes, rinse that out, and yeah. So now I'm about to tone. So before I tone, I like to really give it a good towel dry. Make sure I can get as much moisture as I can out. That will just help the toner really like penetrate and do the job. For my toner, I am using Mitchell. I am using the Demi line. So this is the Mitchell Demi line. I got 10V and 9G. Like I said, I like to have more of like a neutral. This recent time I did more of like a warm blonde. If you're not familiar with toning, in the near future, I will probably do a more in-depth video on toning. Just to give you a little rundown, I use the 10V because the 10V is more to like knock out some of that yellow, and then I put a little bit of 9G in there, like literally the tiniest bit, just to give it more of like a creamy blonde and keep it nice and bright. So more of like the ashy colors, they can get a little muddy. Sometimes they're not very bright, and that's what I used to do, but I recently went more towards like a bright blonde. And to get that bright blonde, you have to have a little bit of warmth in there to reflect the light, really. I'll probably do a video on that more in depth, but yeah, that's just a little bit of a rundown. So the Demi with Paul Mitchell, you use it with processing liquid. This is my little squirt bottle, and it has like the measurements on here. And with the Demi line, I do 1-to-1 ratio. So I'm gonna do 3 ounces because I'm gonna put this not only on my money piece, but on my ends as well. It probably won't do a whole lot on my ends because I've already had it like toned. And last time we toned it at a level 9. So this toner probably won't do a whole lot as far as like my old blonde, but it will give it a little bit more of like a refresh and add that shine back in there. And this toner is like more of like a jelly kind of texture or consistency. So it does get pretty messy and will drip everywhere. So you want to be mindful of that. I'm just going to section in half really fast. And then I'm just going to squirt this on and work it in. So with toners, you want to make sure that you get them on pretty fast. They do process pretty fast, especially on lightened hair. You want it to all process pretty equally, so you kind of have to get it on there pretty fast. So I like to just brush this through to make sure that I'm getting everything. And then because your ends are a lot more porous, they usually suck up the product pretty fast. So you want to make sure that it's not drying out on your ends or anywhere for that matter. I'm going to pin this up and I am going to rinse this in about 15-20 minutes. We'll see kind of how it is looking. See you in a second. Alright you guys, I just processed my hair for about 20 minutes and I went ahead and rinsed it and then did my last step, which is my conditioner. So I am about to get this dry and styled and maybe do a little makeup look. I'll be right back. Alright you guys, this is the final look. So I wanted to show you guys outside because in the natural light it's a little bit easier to see true tones. This is what it looks like. I love how it turned out. It's nice and subtle. It brightened up my face a lot. So I'm on my way to go get my nails done. So my hair is about to be done and my nails about to be done, and girl, if you guys like this little money piece touch-up tutorial, go ahead and hit that like button, subscribe for more videos, and comment below if you have any questions.